Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to Cluster API v1.10 release team, our weekly status meeting. It's the 19th of March. As I'm sure you're well aware, we are a sub-project of SIG Cluster Lifecycle, Cluster API is, and so we follow the Kubernetes community rules of conduct, which we can summarize as everybody try to be kind to each other and make this a welcoming place and use the raise hand feature if it seems necessary. If you want to add your name to the attendees list, please do so. And let's move on to the agenda, but please feel free to interrupt me with anything you want to talk about. So yesterday we did the v1.10 beta 0 release, and in the end, everything went pretty well. Thanks so much to everybody who helped out, all of you here in the meeting. Yeah, let's go ahead with a status update from Chris. Glad to see you're feeling a little better.
Yeah. Yep. Started to test positive now, or test negative now, so things are good. The status update I have for you twofold. One, as part of the 110 release, we added the 110 dashboard for CI jobs, so you can see that in test grid now, as well as creating the templates that make it run 1.10 jobs to begin with. And then the other big news in the CI land over the past week is that something happened with the Kind project, and their Docker Hub account was no longer flagged as open source. Sounds like a yearly renewal they have to do. And because of that, a bunch of our tests started failing because it was getting rate limited trying to pull the Kind images to then build on top of, because a lot of our tests use Kind. Um, Two things have happened to mitigate that. One, Ben the Elder is doing the thing to renew that with Kind, and then the other is Christian made a PR to cache images much better in our Prow um, test images, so that it seems like we're trying to pull the image much less, and so tests are working again. And with that, a bit tricky to know for sure that our signal is clean or not because we had so many failed tests, but everything I've been checking in on after that fix seems to be looking good. So I'm happy.
That's great. Yeah, it'll take a little while for the dust to settle. That was I mean, I did the conservative thing yesterday when I saw things were not green, and I'm like, well, we should wait for the release, but the maintainer said ignore the fog of war and just go for it. So I did that. We did that. And I guess that was a good idea. Cool. Thanks, Chris. Let's check in with Chandan and the comms team.
Not much of update, but we have communicated the beta provider to the beta to all the providers. Like, thanks Morgan for doing that, and also send the like message to the channels and all. I think that's all I have.
Right on. Yeah, I saw all the comms. Great, great stuff. Um, and I guess the only thing I'm remembering is I guess there's still a to-do task that Stefan is going to do to flesh out the release notes, right? It's that the deprecations and removals part is still a to-do, but otherwise it
Yes,
sounds like we're all done.
right.
Great. Let's check in on the tasks board. We're down here, week 11, and Chris you guys got this done. So I think we're all clear in terms of week 11 tasks. Fabrizio stepped in and did this one for us because I mistakenly had this a couple weeks later. And they're not here, but for the recording, thank you very much to Stefan and Fabrizio and Christian. We're all there helping out the whole time and got the release done with us. That was great. Um, so things kind of settled down a little bit now. Next week, we're going to cut another beta release, assuming everything's fine. And then we have to, mostly me, I have to try to assemble the next release team. So if any of you are interested in doing this job or keeping your same job or doing something else on the release team for the next cycle, that would be awesome. But I'm going to go in Slack and see if we can scare up some more help for the next time around. And yeah, and then KubeCon is the following week where basically, as you know, nothing really happens. And then we'll get to the release candidate, but it's not as big of a deal since we've already cut the release branch at this point. It's just another release, hopefully. And yeah, getting closer, and then a month away is the actual final release. And then let's take a look at the improvement board. Looks pretty much the same. I haven't thought of any. I thought of one thing I could put up here, but really it's just a docs PR. That when we do a release, someone should remember to go put it in the CAPI meeting notes as well, so we can point it out there. Not a big task, but it's like something we should add to this. So I'll do that. I don't know if it needs to go up here. Does anyone have any updates on any of these items? Sounds like no. That's all I had. Anything else we should talk about? Going once, going twice. Great. Thanks everybody for all the work yesterday. Seems like we did it well.
Thanks, everybody.
Talk
Goodbye.
to you next week.
Thanks.